Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, Bears fans. Let's get to the news folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you know that the landscape of the NFC North is shifting in a way that could really shake up how we see this division moving forward. And at the heart of it all, there's a big story that's developing right now. Something that could define the Bears' season and maybe even the franchise's future. It involves a trade that might seem small on paper, but its implications are enormous. We're talking about the Chicago Bears potentially acquiring Zack Baun, the versatile linebacker from the Philadelphia Eagles, in a deal that could see the Bears send a third-round pick in 2026 and a sixth-round pick in 2027 to Philly. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this mean for the Bears? Well, buckle up because this move could be a game-changer, and I want to break down all the reasons why. But first, let's set the stage here. The Eagles, sitting comfortably at 4-1, have been one of the most impressive teams in the league this season. Their defense, led by a dominant front and a linebacker core that's been exceptional, really stands out. They're giving up just 21.8 points per game, which is among the best in the league. Philadelphia's defensive unit has been a nightmare for opposing offenses, balancing pressure, solid coverage, and relentless pursuit. Yet, despite their impressive record and defensive prowess, the Eagles are facing a cap crunch, with a cap hit of around $6 million, that's forcing them to make some tough decisions. They're navigating a roster that's a bit too expensive in some areas, especially with key extensions like Lane Johnson's $18 million cap hit. So, even a team that's 4-1 and looking like a potential Super Bowl contender has to make some sacrifices, and trading Baun seems to be one of those. Now, looking at the Bears, they're currently sitting at 2-2, which is exactly the start many of us hoped for, but it's also not the end of the world. The team is still very much in the mix, especially considering how much they've been hemorrhaging points, an average of 29.3 points allowed per game, which puts them at the bottom of the NFC North. That's a stark contrast to the Eagles' stingy defense. The Bears desperately need to bolster their defense, especially their linebacker core, to turn things around. And that's precisely what makes Baun such an intriguing target. He's not just a linebacker, he's a chameleon on the field. He can rush the passer, drop into coverage, and stop the run with equal effectiveness. His versatility could give the Bears' defense a much-needed boost, helping them tighten up against the run and improve their pass rush, which has been somewhat inconsistent so far this season. But who exactly is Zack Baun? Well, he's a Wisconsin native, born and raised, and he burst onto the NFL scene through the third round of the 2020 draft, selected by the New Orleans Saints. His career has been marked by flashes of brilliance, an instinctive linebacker with a knack for making big plays. Over the years, he's accumulated 251 tackles, 8 sacks, and 4 interceptions. That's not just good, it's impressive for a player who's still relatively young and developing. His best season so far was 2024, where he posted a PFF run defense grade of 92.1, which is elite, and his overall grade was 89.4. That's the kind of production the Bears desperately need, especially considering that in just 15 games last season, he made 30 tackles, including 19 solo, and had 2 sacks and an interception against the Rams in Week 3. His ability to impact the game in multiple phases, pass rush, coverage, run stopping, is what makes him a perfect fit for Chicago's evolving defense. But it's not just about his stats, it's about his fit within the Bears' defensive scheme. With Robert Quinn no longer in the picture and other players still adjusting, the Bears need someone who can step in immediately and raise the level of play. Baun's past injury setbacks, like the shoulder injury that limited him in Week 2, are concerns, but he was back on the field in Week 4, tallying 12 tackles against the Broncos. He's shown resilience and a high motor, traits that resonate with the Bears' team culture. His ability to negate yards after catch, with only 42 yards per game, and his rush efficiency, generating 1-2 pressures per snap, are indicators of a player who can thrive in a high-pressure environment. And crucially, he's a player who can help the Bears improve against the run, an area that's been a sore spot so far this season. Now, let's talk about the Eagles' perspective. They're in a pretty good spot right now, sitting at 4-1 and leading their division with a defense that's been among the best in the league. But they're also aware of their cap situation. The $11.6 million cap hit on Bond might seem manageable, but with other extensions and roster needs, Philly has to make some tough choices. The trade for Bond, in this case, isn't just about moving a player, it's about optimizing their roster and managing their cap. They're trying to stay competitive, but they also need flexibility for the future. That's where the trade makes sense from their point of view. They get a valuable pick in return, which can be used to bolster other areas of their roster or to pick up a future star. Plus, Bond's departure won't hurt too much considering they have depth at linebacker, and they're betting on their defensive scheme to continue thriving without him. For the Bears, this isn't just about adding a player, it's about changing the trajectory of their franchise. The team has been in a sort of limbo, trying to rebuild while also competing. The addition of Bond could be a catalyst for a much larger transformation. With his skill set, he can help them tighten up against the run, improve their pass rush, and provide that extra fuel needed to push for a playoff spot. The Bears' defense, ranked 24th in DVOA and giving up nearly 30 points a game, desperately needs a spark. Bond's ability to generate more tackles for loss, increase blitz efficiency, and limit yards after catch makes him a perfect fit for the kind of aggressive, opportunistic defense Chicago is aiming to build. And speaking of that, the Bears' offensive side has been a mixed bag, with Caleb Williams, the young quarterback they're high on, showing promise but also facing challenges. Averaging 18.4 points per game, the offense needs more consistency, and having a defense that can get the ball back quicker or set up better field position could be exactly what the doctor ordered. With Bond in the mix, the Bears could bolster their ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks, forcing more turnovers and creating scoring opportunities. His impact could be felt not just in stopping the run, but also in forcing errors and creating chaos for opponents. Looking at the bigger picture, the NFL landscape this season is full of surprises. The division races are tighter than ever, and the Bears have a real shot at making some noise if they can get their defense to the next level. The trade for Bond might be the spark that ignites their playoff push. Think about it. If Bond can replicate or even improve upon his last season's performance, the Bears could be looking at a significant uptick in their defensive production. They could turn into a team that opponents dread facing, especially at Soldier Field. The atmosphere there is already electric, and with a defense that's more aggressive and versatile, the energy and confidence of the team will only grow. Now, let's talk about the Super Bowl odds. Right now, the Bears are sitting at plus 10-0, which might seem like a long shot, but with this kind of move, those odds could dramatically improve. Some projections already hint at a shift to around plus 4-0 if Bond joins the team and makes an immediate impact. It's not just about adding a player, it's about signaling that the Bears are serious about contending. Bond's ability to neutralize top running backs like Bijan from the Falcons, who's been a key player in their offense, could be vital in divisional matchups. Plus, the Bears' defense could start to resemble the disruptive units that have historically won championships, with multiple players capable of rushing the passer and dropping into coverage. And it's worth noting that, historically, the Bears have had moments of resurgence that set the tone for their entire seasons. Think back to 2018, when their defense was dominant and helped them reach the playoffs. A similar resurgence could be on the horizon, especially if Bond hits his stride and the team continues to develop around him. The division is weak enough, especially with the Lions and Vikings still trying to find consistency, that the Bears could be looking at a wildcard spot, or even better, if they can string together some wins and tighten up that defense. Finally, the excitement is building because this isn't just about a single trade. It's about a potential turning point, a move that could reshape the entire NFL narrative around the Bears. Imagine a Soldier Field roaring as Bond makes a game-changing sack, or as he snuffs out a key third down, swinging momentum in Chicago's favor. This is the kind of move that elevates a team from rebuilding to contention, from hopefuls to serious contenders. The Bears are on the cusp of something special, and this trade could be the catalyst for a bold new chapter in their history. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Zach Bond is the piece that can finally unlock the Bears' potential and propel them toward playoff success? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. The season is heating up, and with moves like this, the Bears are definitely making a statement. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, bear down.